Three, two, one, and welcome back to DP Oddcast. I'm Johnny.
And I'm Josh.
And this is EP2. In this podcast, we talk about a little bit of everything from our weeks, our kids, our problems, and everything else we feel is worth mentioning. There's a lot to say, and we're going to make sure to say it. So, Josh, why don't we go ahead and... I feel like this was really prominent this week, and I'm just going to go with salt in the workplace. I feel like we definitely need to touch on that.
Salt in the workplace, man. Why start this week? I can just start with, probably like 20 minutes ago.
Let's start there. What happened 20 minutes ago, Josh?
Well, upon investigating a customer's demand or inquiry about his order, he had said that he didn't receive a product in his order. And looking over the email he sent, we had him send pictures to verify everything. Check out the invoice and whatnot. So looking at the package that he had took a picture of, I was like, this customer's definitely lying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, totally. Like, it does not look like that's how we packaged it.
Yeah. The customer is always wrong. Just thought I'd mention that.
Actually, in this case, the customer was fucking right. No. So, I went and looked and checked when everything was scanned in for the order. Mm-hmm. Found out the exact time, pulled up the cameras, just so everyone knows we have cameras by our shipping stations, just so that for situations like this, we can verify whether or not we sent everything that they ordered.
Yeah, pretty standard.
So this is like a $60, $70 product. So, I'm a little worried about it. So, screw it. I'm going to check the cameras.
Yeah.
Checking the cameras. Actually, a little bit back, we did get the invoice. The invoice did have a signature on it. If you remember, John, I said, you know what, man? I know exactly who it is. And you're like, no, that's not him. I'm like, yeah, it is. But okay. Yeah, no. So, we pull up the cameras, pull up the time that it was verified. And, sure as shit, it was the kid that I thought. And, he didn't send it. And, we brought him in and asked him, what happened? Why, you verified that it was there. And he's a little slick talker, so he always has some little excuse that doesn't exactly line up with the situation, but it's definitely pre-canned every single time. And he didn't really have an excuse this time. Like, he tried to play it off, but I was like, no, dude, here's you on a camera fucking up.
Yeah.
There's no talking yourself out of this one. I'm sorry.
Yeah. See, listen. It's not that I didn't think that this wasn't him. Because there was a piece of me that's like, yeah, this kid fucks up all the time. But I've seen his signature so many times. I think he's changing it up at this point, honestly. Because normally it's just this one squiggle. I'm obviously not going to leave initials or anything for anyone to piece anything together. But I've seen this kid sign everything. I've seen his signature, a bunch of ways, but it always looks more or less the same. I can piece together, what it says. This time, no, it didn't look anything like his actual signature.
I'm convinced he just changes it up every week.
just to get away with his bullshit.
Yeah, no, he'll probably just blame it on the other guy. Just be like, yeah, no, that wasn't me. This is how I sign stuff. I've never signed anything that way.
Yeah, no. I mean, this, for everyone that's listening. Mistakes from this kid are so common that at this point we debate firing him 10 times a week because he's a good kid, but man, he's just, and I super hope he doesn't listen to this at any point in time. He's gonna know exactly who we're talking about, but man, he's just dumber than a bag of shit.
Well, I mean, that's hyper specific. I mean, if let's talk about something other people can probably relate with.
Sure.
The stench of employees not willing to bathe or hygienically take care of themselves.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I know we're men here in this office. Mm-hmm. There are two females, but
primarily men.
Primarily men.
No.
And I mean, you're at work, man. make a little bit of an effort. Like, just like I'll take a cologne bath or something. Like, do something.
Honestly, though, what's that called? An Italian shower?
Yeah,
When they just wet a rag. Nothing against Italians. This is just something that I've heard. I love Italian people. They're phenomenal. But I've always heard it's something called an Italian shower, where they just wet a rag, or they get a baby wipe or something, and they just wipe themselves down real quick, and that they get away with it. But man, yeah, no, this person, it's like they wake up, just like take a quick, run through some hot garbage, and then they come to work. And honestly, another super nice guy. We're just shitting on nice people at this point.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, he's a super nice guy. But Jesus Christ, I don't know why personal hygiene is not like number one. Because me personally, I brush my teeth every day, take a shower, throw on deodorant. If I feel kind of sweaty, kind of gross, I have cologne in my car at all times. But no.
Well, I mean, like, even if, like, let's just give him a little bit of leeway, like every other day or something. I mean, you're a man.
Mm-hmm.
So you inherently stink. Like, unfortunately, we all have our own stench. Some of us don't smell it enough in time, I guess. But this is beyond that. This is like...
It's not okay.
Well, I mean, it's reminiscent of, like, leaving, like, dishes in the sink for, like, days on end with water, like, accumulated in it, and just getting that moist, moldy smell, like, coming from the kitchen. Like, that's... Whew,
yeah. No. Oh my God. Yeah, no. If you're that person in the workplace,
just do everyone a favor and just do something about it.
Yeah.
Like, everyone will love you like that much more.
Yeah. At least get cologne, man. That's not okay. That's not okay. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing if you're working, I don't know, like a manual labor job.
Right.
We do not work manual labor.
No. We're in the office.
Oh my God. Yeah, no. We've definitely had a very interesting week. I don't know if you want to touch on the birthdays and days off, because that's a whole thing. I
don't know. Like, maybe our listeners might have a little bit more insight. Like, is taking a day off for your birthday a legitimate reason to take off a day for work?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean,
maybe like a half day.
If you get your job done,
yeah.
Like if you're able to get like the majority of your stuff done, and you have like the other half of your day covered. I mean, again, we're talking about like a full-time job, a career quote unquote job that you are holding, not just a part-time whatever. I mean,
yeah, like you're not just shooting the shit here. Like you have responsibilities. You have things you need to make sure get accomplished, and. Yeah, no, the other day, so just rough backstory, if you can even call it backstory. The other day, we came to discover that one of our employees here, or one of our coworkers, whatever you want to call him, was going to end up needing some kind of time off for some, I guess, work. I don't really know what you would call it. It's... Nobody's seeing what Josh is doing right now, but he's pointing.
She's gonna have some surgery.
Yeah, she's gonna have some surgery. I didn't want to make it so specific in case she's listening. Super nice girl, but but yeah, no, she's gonna be out for 2 weeks. And that's all good and well. You're getting surgery,
right,
completely understandable. Yeah, right. It's a legitimate reason, completely understandable. And it's like I don't know, like a month and a half, like 2 months away.
Right.
So
right.
Plenty of notice.
Right.
Now, take it a few days prior, we also come to find out that there's a trip, like a legitimate vacation, that's going to take up like 5 days that she won't be here. Now, we knew about the vacation before the surgery, so we couldn't really complain about the surgery. After, I mean, we couldn't complain regardless. I guess what I should be saying is that we couldn't complain about the vacation at the time because, we had notice on that as well. I think at that point it was still like a month. But now...
Well, I mean, all things granted, like she is a new employee, and that's probably the biggest red flag. It's not that her performance is bad. It's not that she's a bad person. It's not even that it's the time that she's taking off. Because if it was you or me or, our other employees, it really wouldn't be a big deal because of the, circumstances. Just being that she's so new, that's really what calls into question. Because, at this point, not through the probation period when the vacation is going to be coming up, but will be through the probationary period after, that point. So, it's just whether or not, like, you think that looks good. Obviously, there's nothing you can do. You've already got that stuff planned, and obviously the surgery is 100% necessary. Yeah. It's not. I'm not saying like, oh, you know what, put that off. Yeah, well, we're not gonna, we're not gonna allow that. You can't do that. So we're gonna need you to come in and skip that surgery. No. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. It's calls into question a little bit, but at the same time, it's not calling into question their ability to work because they do a good job. So, it's just, you're going to have to help cover that job.
Yeah. Now here's where things really kind of got rough. And now we know about it's 3 weeks at this point, guaranteed off within the next 2 months. Okay? Now she comes out and says, my birthday's on a Friday. Maybe I'll take that off. Now, was I wrong? Was I wrong in lifting my head above my computer, looking right at her and going, you are not taking that day off?
No, not at all.
I told her that, that's asking a lot at that point, because that's more than 20 days off.
Well, like we were saying, just come in.
Yeah.
Come in that morning, get like some stuff handled. Ask one of us because it's your birthday at that time. We're going to be a lot more empathetic than we are 2 weeks prior to her birthday or whenever it is. Yeah. Come in that day. Come in that morning. Handle the majority of the stuff that came in over the night, which shouldn't take more than an hour or so. Mm-hmm. Look at us and be like, hey, it's my birthday. Yeah. Can you guys help cover the phones and stuff? And, I can dip out. And more than likely, I would not see a reason why we would be like, no. Yeah. No, you can't leave. No, it's just like anything else. Like, just make an effort. Make it yourself seem like you're trying to be there. And honestly, that goes a lot further than anything else. Just trying to call out that day now because other people are talking about other days off and stuff. Like, I don't know.
Definitely should have mentioned at the beginning of this that the whole reason that the birthday was even brought into question was because another one of our coworkers here had mentioned that she, whose birthday is fairly soon, was possibly maybe going to be able to come in for a few hours during the day, but she's
going to be here on her birthday, but she wants to take the next day off, the Friday, because she has an appointment that will accumulate
3
what
hours.
She said 3 hours of her time in the middle of the day. If you can come in until lunchtime, like that seems, or like you have said, like what you're saying, alludes to, why not? I mean, especially in the case of, needing money.
Yeah. We should. I don't want to say we need to mention this, but I don't think either one of them is financially stable enough to be able to take all of the time off that they currently are. I don't know.
Man, you do you. Whatever you think gets you through. Like, I can't. I'm not going to argue with your lifestyle choices.
Yeah. I guess.
And again, on the surgery. Yeah. No, postpone that.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, just wait until you're just out of the probationary period. Let's just keep it right around there. What are you looking at?
I don't know. Where
we're at? Right now we're at like 1440.
Oh, that's sick. Right, that's awesome.
Probably going to have to cut that part out. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Let's see.
I don't know why I was looking at that. It seemed like a good idea.
It's an interesting program. If anyone's wondering, probably not, we're looking at the program that's currently running the recording right now. Josh really hasn't gotten familiar with it, but yeah, no, he's taking a good look at that. It's all red.
Red.
Oh man.
Oh, dude. Speaking of Red Dead Redemption 2, have you been playing that at all? Because
You know-
I pretty much stopped playing that like completely. Like I pretty much stopped playing all of my video games completely like
Yeah.
a month ago for some reason. And like I mean I'm at for Spider-Man or whatever, you know, at Spider-Man I'm at like 96%, and I just can't bring myself to go do those like final little side missions that are left, the little challenges that are left. I don't even remember. I think there's research
I really
posts or whatever.
I think the research ones for the research tokens, I don't know. I think those are the least enjoyable in the whole game, if I'm going to be honest. But after my son was born, I got a PS4 solely for Spider-Man. I did not need it. That was the only game that I wanted. I very ironically managed to get Red Dead Redemption 2. It came as like a bundle, I think like for Black Friday or something. But I have not played that game once. It's downloaded on my PS4. I haven't played Spider-Man since maybe, I don't know, December, January, something like that. I don't have time, honestly. I come home, I take care of my son. Sometimes I'll make dinner. You know, sometimes I'll clean up around the apartment, stuff like that. I don't know. I guess it really depends on the day. But I have yet to have enough time that I could commit to playing a video game to be able to get back to that.
Right.
As of recently, which is super annoying because that shit was so expensive. Oh man, video games just as a whole are, excuse me, don't know what that was. Video games as a whole are just really expensive, unreasonably expensive in all reality. Like $60 for
Well,
one
I mean,
game.
I think it's ridiculous at this point. Like, I just hate the stupid fact that you have to download the games that you can't actually play the, you know, disc. I mean, I understand that, you know, that speeds up load times and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, if I have to download it to my PS4, why do I need to put a disc in at all?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to, like, download it and then, I don't know, throw the disc away, I guess. I don't want to have to keep on, like, putting that in and then switching it out for Grand Theft Auto when Jaden wants to play, or he wants to play that little Nickelodeon, like, racing game or whatever. That game is super fun, by the way.
I'm definitely gonna have to look into it. What? Oh man, there was a. No, I think it's just Rocket League. I think that just made me think of Rocket League. I was obsessed with that game for a little while. I don't know what it was. I couldn't go to sleep at night.
Well, it's because you're Portuguese and it's soccer.
You know what? That's racist, but fair.
I mean, come on, it's soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, my European friend.
Football. Yeah, no, it definitely incorporates a lot of my favorite things: cars, blowing shit up, and soccer. So yeah,
fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely up there. Definitely a lot of fun. Damn, now that we got kind of off track with video games and stuff, we need to talk about this. Daredevil. I am so angry that they canceled Daredevil after season 3. If anyone's watched it, you know how phenomenal that show was. If you didn't think it was phenomenal, we probably wouldn't be friends in real life.
You probably wouldn't be listening to this anyway, so...
You'd probably be doing a lot better things, like, I don't know, med school, just anything more productive. But yeah, no. Daredevil was probably one of the best shows I have ever seen in my life. And it's so funny, because I could not get past the first, 10 minutes for so long. But, literally 10 minutes and 30 seconds into the show, it just becomes...
Something completely different.
Just something completely different. Goes from blind lawyer to just, badass blind guy. Just
beating the shit out of
everyone. Just beating the shit out of everyone. It's... Oh, man. That was just my favorite show.
Season 2 was fucking phenomenal. I loved the Punisher in that. I hate the way they depicted the Punisher in Punisher Season 1. Punisher Season 2 wasn't actually that bad. That was actually pretty decent, but they also canceled that. They canceled all of those shows. So that's unfortunate, but I don't know. They seemed popular enough that I don't know if they got canceled so much as Disney was like, you know what, give me that shit back. I want all of the rights to Marvel. we just got, X-Men, all of that stuff back. We want it all in-house. We're starting our own streaming service. We'll take it from here and just start a Heroes for Hire TV show.
I mean, they apparently, I think I heard somewhere they're like flirting with the idea of doing that, of reinventing, I guess, those series. But I don't know. I feel like the way they depicted each of those characters, I never saw The Punisher. Because honestly, the way that you shit on it so much, I never wanted to. You did say that season 2 was really good, but I'm one of those people, I cannot watch season 2 without watching season 1. I really can't.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, man. It took me like a year to get through season 1. See, and it was hard. Because all of the trailers and the way they depicted it when it first came out, all of the marketing material and everything, it looked amazing. Mm-hmm. It looked like everything you thought the Punisher would be. But come to find out, that is literally the last episode and all of the action that is in that TV show. For the first season, anyways. Season 2, that action's pretty spread out. It's not over inundated with gore and stuff, but it is definitely rated R. It is definitely reminiscent of, Frank Castle in Daredevil season 2. That was.
See, yeah. I really liked season 2. I wasn't a huge fan of how gory it really was. Because halfway through, it goes from I can watch this and not get sick to my stomach at certain times. Yeah. Then halfway through season 2, they're like, yeah, no, I'm going to shove these spikes through some fingernails. And yeah, oh my God. And Rachel was pregnant at the time, and she just covered her eyes because she was already so nauseous all the time, but it was such a good show. We couldn't stop watching it. Oh, man, that definitely...
But they left it with such a big cliffhanger at season 3, man. How do you... Oh, man, bullseye.
I can't even express how angry that made me. I just liked how in season 3, they kind of took it back to the roots of season 1.
Right.
The black mask, everything. The Daredevil character himself was, I guess, dead. It was still
Retired
Daredevil,
or whatever.
but yeah, it was back to, Matt Murdock and the mask. I don't know. It was... I don't know. I can't really express how angry it makes me. I think about it at least 6 times a week.
Well, I mean, honestly, even if it does get reimagined by the Disney streaming service, it's probably going to be neutered. It's probably going to be PG-13, whereas it was definitely rated R or NC-17. There were some questionable parts there, but I mean, yeah, what can you do? Can't wait for Captain Marvel this weekend, though.
yeah, definitely excited for that. I feel like we didn't really express how excited we were in the last one.
Honestly, I feel like we're just really excited because that's the next stepping stone to Endgame.
Yeah. Oh, man. I heard the other day, apparently they're not doing another Marvel movie for over a year after Endgame.
Well, Homecoming's coming out,
or
not Homecoming. Far From Home.
It might have been after Far From Home, or maybe I can't remember.
Well, I mean, realistically, they've probably been putting a lot of time into Endgame, so they haven't had time to get to other stuff.
Yeah,
and plus the Russo brothers or whatever being done with it.
Yeah,
how are you gonna find someone to take up that mantle?
Unless they come back for Secret Wars.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just going to bring James Gunn back eventually. Just need to accept it.
I hope so, honestly. I think the reason that he got fired from Marvel was... Bullshit. That's exactly what it was. There was no solid reason that you should have fired such an A1 director.
Well, I mean, if he was making those comments and shit that he was, currently... At
the time, yeah.
Then we can have a discussion. But you're going to pull some stuff someone said 10 years ago and try to use that against them now? Come on, man. Let it go. It's over. Clearly, as he had stated and everything, he's made strides to be a better person. Yeah. And, we can only take that at face value because none of us know him. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, dog, who cares what people were saying 10 years ago? Yeah. If I go online and look up people's Facebook, posts from 10 years ago, I'm sure I can find a lot of shit. Yeah. A lot of terrible shit. But at the same time, come on, man. They were younger and dumber and, you know, less wise. And, you know, there's a lot of things that play into that, and just trying to go back and fishing for some shit like that. I mean, I don't know. That's stupid.
That's like, shit, who was it? I think it was, and this is a very different situation. I think it was Paula Deen.
Oh, when she said the N-word?
Yeah. Super different situation. Don't condone that at all.
Well, no, but still, it was 25, 30, whenever, you know, decades ago.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, if it wasn't a big deal then, I mean, if you're going to get pissed off about stuff like that now, then we need to disband Disney, because Disney was hugely racist.
Yeah.
I mean, geez, and Disney is like one of the biggest conglomerates in the world.
Yeah. Wasn't he an anti-Semite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that was, I mean, just looking back at all those really old, you know, Disney cartoons and stuff, there were a lot of racist depictions of a lot of people. Yeah. And what are you going to say? Mickey Mouse was racist? Like, we need to, you know, ban Mickey Mouse, and you can't, you know, kids can't see that anymore. Like, it's stupid. Like, let it go. You know, things have changed. Times have changed. You know, look back on that and look at it as a lesson. You know, that was a different time. Mm-hmm. And we're not that way anymore. And you can look today and see the progress we've made as a society, because we don't do that stuff anymore. Yeah. And I feel like that's just historical evidence of, you know, the progress we've made, and trying to get rid of that or ban it or delete it or whatever. You're deleting history. You're trying to get rid of something. Like, no. I mean, it's kind of like the statues and all that stuff, but that's all politics and whatever. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are definitely steering away from politics this time. We got way too much into that last time. I feel like we could probably get into our next topic here.
That one?
Yeah. Yeah. So, Josh, why is it that we as a society celebrate mediocrity? Mediocrity. Sorry. I wasn't in college for that long. Sorry. Mediocrity rather than promote reaching for our fullest potential.
I feel like we're a really soft society nowadays.
Yes.
I mean, I just, you know, politics aside and everything, like, I just feel like we rely on other people for everything, and we're not trying to better ourselves to the best of our abilities. A lot of people are just trying to make it by, and like, I understand that, and you know, there are a lot of circumstances that play into that, but it seems like it's starting at a younger point. Like, it feels like it's almost, mediocrity is bred within the education system, with everything that's you know, Common Core or whatever it is. It just seems like we don't really care too much about creating, you know, a creative, I guess, society, critically thinking, and you know, the ability to come up with their own inventions and, you know, designs and stuff. We're more focused on, you know, basic ass shit. Like, just, I don't know if you remember high school, but for me, high school was plain as shit. There was nothing that I was really being taught that applied later in life. Like, yeah, I guess, you know, thinking wise, doing algebra and stuff like that is you know, necessary, and it definitely trains you to, you know, think differently and outside of the box, I guess, you know, different forms of math and science and history and whatever. But shouldn't there have been a class on, like, paying your taxes, or what you do after college, or anything that was really relative to growing up as an adult? Like, I don't know. Like, it seems like we just, I don't know. It seems like public education nowadays is more just like a glorified daycare for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, that, at the end of the day, and I don't know.
I feel like this is terrible.
Why?
I don't know.
No, I don't know. I feel like the direction that we're going in is, you know, it's definitely a much softer direction than, you know, I hate to say the words our ancestors were bred with, or grew up with. Do you? Because I know a lot of people, they shit all over millennials. Do you think it's like the millennial age because it's such? Because you go from baby boomers. I think there's like what Generation Y or X or something on the in between.
Well, I'm
like
not going to try to
short
blame
in-between.
a whole generation of people for generational issues.
Yeah.
But I would say that a lot of the issues that we're seeing today comes from the fact that, and again, this is getting fucking deep, but it stems a lot from the fact that both parents are in the workplace and kids are being raised on television, daycare, and, not hardcore parenting that, our parents grew up with, that, our grandparents grew up with, who always had a mom at home, and the dad worked. But, that's, again, we're in a fucking shitty ass society where both parents need to work to be able to afford to even make ends meet at this point.
Yeah.
And, I know, living in our area, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks trying to live on one income. It's damn near impossible. It's damn near impossible. I mean, you can make the ends meet, but that's pretty much all you can do. I mean, you got a little bit of extra money if you're saving right and you're budgeting yourself correctly. But if you don't have that prior knowledge or that ability to think that you need to do that, if you're dumb with money, yeah, dude, you're almost screwed at this point if you're trying to raise your family by yourself.
Yeah. It's definitely rough because me personally, I am the sole breadwinner in the house. I know Rachel does want to enter back into the workplace, but it's hard, especially since because I'm the sole breadwinner right now, and life is just unbelievably expensive. We kind of touched on adulthood and how it's completely different than what we expected and everything last time. But I feel like as I grew into where I am now, I never really stopped and thought about like all the bills, all the stress. Putting gas in your own car sucks.
Shit, insurance I'm never gonna use.
Yeah, no.
We buy health insurance and auto insurance and renter's insurance and just a bunch of money going nowhere in the case that I might need it one day.
Yeah.
And that's good and well. You gotta have it, but at the same time it sucks.
I feel like you should definitely get like a rebate or something back if you don't end up using that at all throughout the year. Like if you don't get in any car accidents, just anything that
Well, no, I mean you're rewarded with your insurance rates going up here in Michigan. We already pay the most expensive rates in the United States because of our uncapped liability insurance or whatever.
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, in 2016, we had the insurance companies and the Insurance Association or whatever of Michigan was boasting about how they had a $3 billion, a $3.2 billion surplus of funds. And they didn't know what they were going to do with the money and whatever. And then the next year they're broke. There's no money left. Everything's gone. We need to raise rates again and whatever. And then, next year they're probably going to tell us that there's another surplus and they don't know where the money came from.
See, Michigan, I think, and I would just like to mention, we've gone completely off topic from where we were.
No.
But yeah, no, Michigan I think is funny because I think you guys have the highest number of uninsured drivers on the road. I think it's 61% of drivers don't have insurance.
No, it's 46, 48% right now.
That's still pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, if you look at the insurance rates though in Detroit, which is probably where the a good majority of those unpaid auto insurance cases are. If you look at the pricing for auto insurance in Detroit, it's cheaper to pay the ticket each time that you get rocked by the cops than to actually pay for insurance.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it sucks, and that's why our insurance is also so high, or it keeps going up. But at the same time, it was already really high. Mm-hmm. It already is, without even taking that into consideration. It's less that 46 or 48% of people don't carry it because they choose not to. It's more that they can't afford it.
Yeah.
It's expensive. Like prior to what I was at now, where I'm at now, for full coverage on my '07, Acura, that was like $3,000 every 6 months.
That's ridiculous.
That's fucking crazy. And changing it out, dropped it in half. But I can almost anticipate this next year when I go back to renew, they're gonna jack the rates up almost double. And I can almost guarantee that I can go back to my old insurance company and get better rates than I'm getting now. It's bullshit. I hate living here.
I'm just gonna say it. Do you want to mention how exactly you got such good rates this time? Hashtag snake ass bitch.
Hashtag big fuck. Yeah, no. The only problem with that is like now I can't get in contact with my insurance agent. So yeah, if he's listening, maybe he should contact me because I don't have his information anymore.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm definitely gonna have to edit out his name, but still, no. We'll get his name from you, and I'll just blast it on Twitter until someone gets back to him.
Right.
Oh man.
So let's break away.
Yeah.
We were a little serious. Let's break into Saturday night, man. Dude, I saw you posted the picture on Instagram.
Yeah.
Of me shooting pool hilariously behind my back and you cheesing, apparently.
See, I didn't. You want to know something funny about that picture? I had no fucking idea that you were doing it behind your back. I just went and I snapped a picture of us, and I posted it. If you actually check that post, it's either on Twitter or Instagram that I put a typo, where I asked like if people wanted to talk on our show or something. I said like, you should let us know what you want to talk about on our show or something like that. Oh man, we probably will eventually take guests, but not just yet. Not just yet. Still building a following there. But yeah, no, let's talk about Saturday night.
Saturday night was fun. Saturday
Night was a good time. So if anyone actually saw the picture, just a quick breakdown. Josh and I, despite the original podcast and a handful of times that we've hung out outside of the office, we're really good friends. I would like to say that we're probably best friends at this point. Rock on, that's right. But yeah, no, we've never actually gone out and like drank together or anything like that. And since the birth of my son, I really haven't had any opportunities to like go out and do anything by myself, other than when Rachel takes my son to her mom's house and she's there already by the time I get home. And even then, I'm not doing anything. I'm cleaning up my apartment, something like that, making dinner. And that night, when we went out, we got to the bar. We were dropped off at like 4:15.
Neither of us had eaten at this point in the day.
Yeah.
Dumb. But yeah, we hadn't eaten at all.
And then what did we have? Like each like 2 potato skins and a couple jalapeno poppers.
Yeah, that was the extent of our food that day.
Yeah, and we started ordering beers. Stella Artois is my preferred beer, but they didn't have that on tap. At least they had Blue Moon, so I got a couple of those. I think I really forgot how much I enjoyed Blue Moon until that day. Josh got Coors Light, in case anyone was wondering.
I did not. I got Miller Lite. But even still, it's not like that's much better.
Sorry, it's just alcoholic water. But yeah, so
yeah, basically, I can chug it, so that's fine.
Yeah, no, we started drinking, eating our pathetic little potato skins and stuff. I do want to mention those guys that asked us to play twos. That was really fucking funny. I at least thought so when I was drinking. But yeah, no.
Yeah, they saw how we were playing. They're like, "Nah, we're good."
Yeah, they stopped asking. I used to be really good at pool, half decent at least. And Josh, I don't know. How do you think you normally play?
Shitty. I suck. I'm all luck. Honestly, wow. Like I told you, when we went out, like the way I play pool is slop.
Yeah.
I have no idea I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I make a lot of shots off pure luck. And it is amazing, but it also sucks.
That's okay. Honestly, I feel like if you're just playing like a fuck around game with your friends, slap is definitely the best way to go. I don't think anyone...
Like the people that we saw later in the night that were literally calling each and every ball That was crazy. Like, I'm not that good.
Yeah, I'm like super spotty on them all the way around. Yeah.
You don't remember?
No, I listen, I remember getting there, jalapeno poppers, potato skins, drinking a couple of beers, starting to play pool. I remember we went outside to vape for a minute. Again, I said this last time because we're those kinds of people. We came back inside. I think we each got another beer at that point. I don't know how many beers I actually ended up having. They were huge beers, though. They were easily like 2 full like bottles in one glass, easily.
Yeah, they were tall boys.
Yeah, they were huge. And I remember these guys. They asked us if we wanted to play pool with them, and me and you, we just stopped. I didn't know what to say because I really wanted to be like, that sounds awful. I don't want to talk.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what. Because prior to that, we were literally the only people there.
Yeah,
there was no one else in the bar, in the game room. There was no one there except for the bartender and us, maybe the cooks. I don't know. We didn't see them. Yeah. But yeah, no, we were just back there playing pool, and it was as we were walking there to play pool, that they came in. Oh yeah. And they asked for change or whatever for the tables, and. Yeah, we had set up the game, and that's when they were like, "Yo, man, you guys want to play twos?" And I looked at him immediately. I was like, "Yo, no, we need to play, at least the game to warm up, because we I don't know about him, but I'm terrible. Like I'm not a pool player." Yeah, and then I think it was like a game or two later. It was my 2 games later because they had sat down for a second and they came back. Yeah. And they're like, "Yo, you guys want to play?" Or like one of the shorter guy was like, "Yo, you guys want to play?" Yeah. And like I don't know, I think I shot and like just completely like missed the ball. Yeah. Like I didn't even hit the cue ball. Like I think I might have tapped the edge of it very lightly, just to very lightly move it. And he just, like, the other guy looked at their table and looked at me and then looked at his friend and was like, "Nah, man, we're playing by ourselves."
Yeah, dude. I actually remember that vividly. I thought that shit was hilarious. But I remember, like, right when they first asked us, and I was, like, awestruck. I was not expecting that. And I super didn't want to play with them. And they asked us that. I'm there. I'm quiet. And instantly, I'm like, yeah, maybe, we're gonna get a game in, at least one. And you mentioned, we gotta play, whatever. And I remember the shorter guy, he's like, "Oh, okay. And I just hear you, and I don't know, it didn't sound like a whisper. I just hear you just go, "Fuck." Oh my God. They definitely heard. I think the shorter guy, he got kind of shitty. I think the taller guy, he's definitely like the beta of the group, but the bigger douchebag, I think, between him and his buddy.
I don't know. The way that they were talking, he was slaying pussy. And he wasn't really talking about it as much as that shorter guy was talking about how much he was slaying pussy. And if you remember the text I sent you, because I think you went to like the bathroom or something, and they were talking, and he was just like, "Yo, man, like, on the DL, like, she likes you, and yeah, like, I don't know, like, she was telling me that you like him, and he likes you. I don't know, he likes to, he's doing things now, he's into action, he's not just saying stuff or whatever." And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? What is happening? Like, I don't know what they're even talking, like, I was just like blown away. But at the same time, obviously I have no context because I don't know who they are. But it just seemed so crazy that they were talking like that. I had no idea what they were saying.
See, the one thing that I really did catch from them, and this I thought, I don't know, it was just kind of strange. Like, they were obsessed with Albanians. I don't know if they were themselves Albanian, but they kept mentioning, like, "Oh, like, that chick was Albanian," some shit like that. Like every like 2 sentences, he was like, "Oh, how'd you know she was Albanian?" He's like, "I just knew." Right. Like some shit like that. Like, what? How do you know these things? Who are you? Oh man, they I don't know. They were funny.
I mean, isn't Albania in like Eastern Europe, right? Western? I don't know.
Fucking
it's Europe, right?
I don't know. I grew up in New Jersey, and New York is where they did geography. So, I don't know. I grew up just one state too far to know exactly where these places are. I know where Andorra is. Most people don't. It's between France and Spain. It's a little dingleberry that hangs right in the middle. Most people don't know that, but I actually have a cousin from there. Fun fact about Johnny.
Fun fact about Johnny.
But yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I forgot we were recording.
Big fuck you to Josh. Oh, man. Do you want to talk about the bucket?
Oh, my God. So... I'm not going to lie. My stomach wasn't really feeling that good from, I don't know if it was the
poppers.
The poppers. Those poppers were questionable.
They were fucking weird.
They were questionable.
They were really weird.
So, yeah, my stomach wasn't feeling the greatest. So, I went to the bathroom and, used it a couple of times. On my way back from my second and final venture to the bathroom for... not throwing up.
Did you throw up at all?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
We didn't talk about this, so I feel like I needed to ask.
Yeah, no. So on my second venture back from the bathroom, you look at me, and this is like obviously towards the end of the night, and I feel like we had to have drank like 7 or 8 of those tall boys.
Yeah.
No. It was.
I was pretty slammed. It didn't hit me.
I don't drink. I know you don't drink really often. So, empty stomachs, lots of beers. It was a mixture for a good time.
Questionable poppers.
But yeah, on my way back, you're just like, yo, man. Like, because you're sitting down. You're not even at the pool table at this point. You just you threw your stick was on the ground. You're sitting at the table, and you're just kind of like looking at the table, and you're like, yo, man. I'm going to the bathroom. And I'm like, okay. And it took you a second to actually get up and go to the bathroom. Like, you were just sitting there for a second. Hardcore staring. And I'm like, yo, man, you okay? And you're like, yeah, I got to go to the bathroom. And you got up and went to the bathroom. And I'm sitting there, and after probably like a decent amount of time goes by, I start getting a little worried. I'm like, oh, man, did someone abduct him? He's a little short. I
am pretty small. Yeah.
Did someone abduct him? It could be confused as a kidnapping. I'm not sure. So,
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, I'm sitting there and, I look to my side and I see, you turn the corner and in your hand is a bucket. And I hear glass clinking around. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why does he have a bucket? Like, is he cleaning up stuff? Like, did he get a job? Like, is this his new nighttime job? Like, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, you turn the corner and you're like, yo, man, like, I'm not feeling that good. I'm feeling kind of questionable. I'm like, oh, man, like, you all right? And you're like, yeah, I'm just got this bucket here for, just in case. Just in case. You didn't tell me where you got the bucket. I did not learn that until later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bucket arrived.
Do you want the story behind the bucket?
I want to know how the bucket arrived because I remember walking to the bathroom, and there was never a bucket, like on the way to the bathroom. So I'm curious as to where the bucket came from.
This led into probably the roughest part of the night for me, but this was easily like one of my top 5 like just drunk Johnny moments, I guess, of that night. So as I was coming back from the bathroom, I should mention, I've been saying that a lot. I'm going to say that when I went to the bathroom, this is very vulgar, but I thought, I had to drain myself, so I set up, paper around the toilet because, that's gross. I'm not just going bare cheeks to public toilet, especially at a bar. That's disgusting. So,
you right.
Yeah, I never actually used it because I don't know, I just felt nauseous and I thought maybe I would have to, but I didn't, so I got up and then it just kind of hit me like I'm nauseous. Like this is nothing else. So, I wash my hands, whatever. I leave the bathroom.
Wait, time out.
Yeah.
You make that sound so short. Dog, you were in the bathroom for like 15, 20 minutes.
Well,
you were there for a while.
See, drunk time is just like the snap of a finger. I didn't think I was
passed
in there
out
for
on
that
the
long.
toilet for a little bit.
Well, see, if I'm going to be honest, I think while I was in the bathroom, it was starting to hit me like, man, I've been in here for a fucking while. I got to get out. So I left, washed my hands, whatever. I walk over to the bar and like, I'm trying like not to look as fucking wavy as I feel. Cause at this point, like I'm spins, I'm in the spins. And I asked the bartender, really nice old lady, by the way. Like, she was an actual, like, this wasn't, like, an older woman. This was a legitimate old lady, okay? Like, easily someone's grandma. And I asked her, I'm like, hey, can I get some, 2 glasses of water for me and my buddy? And she's like, yeah, no. And she calls over some other guy. He gets, us the waters. And directly below where I was, at the end of the bar, there was that bucket. There was
like,
that
by,
bucket.
Like, underneath, like, the...
Yeah.
Like a little area for the glasses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was that bucket with like recycled beer bottles. And I see that after, as he's getting me the water. And I grab the 2 glasses with one hand. I reach down when he turns around. I don't know if the old lady was out of my vision. I don't know if she turned back and looked at me.
It was all a blur.
Yeah, honestly though. But I grabbed the bucket. And I know factually, I remember this vividly. I walked back into the room, the next room, okay, holding the bucket hunched over with the 2 glasses in my hand as if I was maybe sneaking into the next room.
Right.
But I did this, I brought it over, we kind of discussed for a second how I was doing. I thought, this is fine. I'm going to be okay. Then I remember you went to the bathroom again, and I was kind of
uncontrollable.
Yeah, I leaned against the table, and I did the dumbest thing, and the dumbest thing is closing your eyes. I closed my eyes for a minute, and I open them, and I'm like, fuck, I need air. And I walk like 3 steps, I stop and go, fuck, this is vomit time. And I just turn around, I yak into the bucket. I just throw up into the bucket. There was nobody in the room. I got really lucky because the guys that were just in there, they left. I threw up into the bucket. I don't know did you actually know that? Yeah, you knew that I threw up. But yeah, no. So I threw up into the bucket.
Yeah, I came back after the throw up.
Yeah.
I saw the bucket.
Yeah, I threw up into the bucket. And, that took me a minute, whatever. And then I think it was as you were coming back, I, like, moved the bucket behind my chair as if I was trying to hide the bucket. And, you sat down. We kind of talked for a minute. Rachel was already on her way. I think I'd requested for her to come pick us up while I was in the bathroom. And I felt like I needed to spit. So I turn around and just spit straight into the hood of my jacket, because it was hanging on the back of the chair, and I was trying to get the bucket, and I just one quick motion, just spit straight into my hood. And I just remember looking at that, just going, fuck, and then turning around and telling you, I just spit in my hood. Oh, man. That was
a good time.
Yeah. Honestly, the vomiting aspect of the whole thing aside, I had a really good time, and I think we should definitely do that again. I actually meant to get drinks for this podcast itself. But I completely forgot, honestly. I didn't go out and do anything yesterday. Yesterday was just recovery day. I woke up at 3 a.m., like 2:30, 3 a.m., something like that, and I pre-ordered pizzas for Rachel and I for 11:45 the same morning. That way, when I woke up, I knew I was going to have, like, greasy drunk food.
Right on.
Well, I guess not drunk food, but hangover food at that point. I just drank juice, a lot of water, took some Advil, ate my pizza. It was pretty good. I mean, not great at like 2:30, 3 a.m. I had a nasty headache for some reason. I don't know. Normally,
because you went to sleep and then woke up only a few hours later after being drunk. Yeah, no, I stayed up until like 2 a.m. that night. So I was like sober when I went to bed. I mean, kind of sober anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to sleep, and I think I woke up at like, what time? We slept in a little bit, maybe like 9-ish.
Yeah, for dads, that's sleeping in. It was like 9.
Yeah, slept until like 9. No, I mean, fuck that. That's sleeping in. That is sleeping in. Like, Jaden wakes up at 6. Everyone knows Jaden is my son, my 9-year-old son. He wakes up at 6 every day. He doesn't have an alarm clock. I mean, he has an alarm clock, but he doesn't use it. He wakes up at 6 on the dot every single morning. Like clockwork. It is amazing. So I was like, Dad, I want to wake up early and play video games or something. Like, why? You don't have school today. Like, don't do that. Like, sleep in, my dude. Like, you need some rest. He's like, okay, I'll sleep in until like 6:30. Like, what?
What? See, I remember being a kid, though, and having that same kind of energy.
I wish. Oh, my God.
You
I mean,
don't-
I do remember that. I'm saying I wish I had that energy now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, shit, I wake up at 7 o'clock, and I'm just like, oh, my God.
Yeah, no.
Please take me back.
My kid, I don't know. I think it's because him and Rachel, they tend... I mean, he's in bed at, like, a pretty reasonable time, but, like, Rachel, she's up, like, sporadically throughout the night, so... I don't even know where I was going with this. But he, you know, when he wakes up and she's awake, you know, like, she takes care of him, whatever, and gets him back to sleep pretty quickly. He sleeps in until, like, I don't know, like 10, 11. So that's really good for now. I don't know. I'm kind of worried about when he gets to be like toddler age.
No, that's actually, I mean, the only thing you're going to have, I mean, okay, obviously, again, like I said in the last show, all kids are fucking different.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, what I experienced, and again, could be different, whatever, once that, like, long baby sleep stops, for me, my son started waking up at, like, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and he would, you know, eat, take a bottle or whatever, and stay up for maybe like an hour and a half, and then he was out.
No.
He'd go right back to sleep. Like by, I want to say like 8:30, 9 o'clock, he was definitely out for another 3 to 4 hours. So at the time, luckily enough, at the time I was able to spend, you know, those days with my son. I was actually, you know, a stay-at-home dad for a year.
No.
That was pretty legit. No thanks to baby mama.
Oh man, this shit's getting personal.
Yeah, no. It was unfortunate circumstances, but also allowed me a lot of time at home with my son, and that was pretty phenomenal in itself. So can't really complain about that. But yeah, no, that wasn't too bad. So being that Rachel's home with him, she'll, you know, she might have to wake up a little early, or you wake up with him when you're gonna get up for work or whatever, and then she'll just wake up when he wakes up the second time. Again, if you're lucky.
See, it's pretty rare that he's awake when I get up to go to work. And that's pretty rare. You know, when he is though, I don't know. He's really good in the mornings. Like he'll just kind of like whine a little bit if he wants to, you know, get out of, I guess, like sleeping position. But I don't know. I don't know. I was reading this thing. What was it? On like whether or not you have like an easy or a challenging baby, something like that. And like there was like a scale, like you had to calculate yourself. I don't know. I didn't end up doing it because my kid is so like hot and cold. Like he's either like a really easy baby some days, or just.
Oh, you mean like normal people? Like normal kids?
Yeah.
They have their good days and their bad days. Yeah.
It's another thing about parenting books. They're built on either like a certain small faction of kids or based around like one child altogether. You know, I don't know. It's different, but we're definitely, you know, we're definitely off track from where we were. I don't even know where we were at this point. We were talking about a lot. I think it's time to wrap things up.
Yeah, love you guys.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Again, this has been DP Oddcast. We're now available on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Buzzsprout, which is the hosting site, and what was the last one? Spotify, that's what it was. Yeah, no, this is all pretty new within the last few days, so definitely check us out there. Subscribe. Let us know if there's anything that you guys specifically think we should talk about, or if there's anything, you know, any questions that you guys have for us. I think we'd be pretty thrilled to answer them. Do you have?
Yeah, if you listen to us but you did not find us through social media, check us out on social media. Give us a little like, see what's going on. You know, we definitely want to engage in some conversation with you guys because we'd love to have some more things to talk about. Yeah, we're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Thanks again for listening. This has been DP Oddcast, EP2. Peace, bitches. Deuces, bitches.